All right. Welcome to the crew. Please confirm if you can hear me loud and clear. Wonderful to be back on the stream with my fam, and awesome to see everybody hopping into the building. Please confirm if I am loud and clear, if you can see my face, hear my voice. And you know what? No time to waste today. Let's bring up the charts. Please confirm if everything is clear, if you can see my chart. And the charts are moving right now, so I want to get right into it, but absolutely awesome to see everybody here. Honest in the building. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I missed you in Hong Kong, man. We're in the same city and we don't even get to hang out, bro. It was so close, but all good. Dubai is coming in April. I'll be there with you. Lovely to see you, Jess. Thank you for joining. Husseini's in the building. We got Crypto Cupcake from South Africa. Welcome. Abrar, nice to see you, brother. Arpad in the building. Web3 Spirit Breakthrough. Let's go, brother. Welcome. All right, that is the confirmation that I need to hear. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. And I hope everybody has been keeping their eyes on the Discord. It is firing up and it is magic. And I have also been dropping some more of my own charts in that Discord. And yeah, we can see here about 6 days ago, I dropped this chart outlining how important this bearish OB was right at 70k, and very interesting to see that this did actually give us an amazing sniper entry move. And you can hear I'm actually getting alerts right now. Very cool. So we might be able to hop into some scalps during the stream, but let's first break down what's happening, what's happened, what we think will happen. And yeah, let me know if anybody in the chat did manage to hop in onto some of these short trades. We can see that the OB was tapped with a beautiful sniper wick, and really nice to be identifying these beautiful zones and then waiting for them when they pop off, making sure that you actually do the due diligence, because you know what, you can do all the TA in the world, but when it comes down to the moment of entry, that's when you actually have to move on it. And what I did here was I saw the sniper entry happening, and then on the lower time frame, I just watched to see this wick coming in. And once we were back down below this major 68k high volume node zone, then I entered shorts on a bunch of altcoins, and it was really this atom trade that popped off for me. And we can see I think I'm going to close it very soon actually, but very nice. 546% there, and it just shows SMC, guys. SMC, smart money concept, if you mix it with your market cipher. And I must say, super impressed to see the crew learning. Every day I get more and more messages from this community telling me that they are milking the markets using market cipher. And if you're not into it yet, please get into it. McCall can attest. He is the market cipher OG, and man, he has been milking the markets. Very proud. I see Billy also using it. I also see JCG Cool doing very well. I know he's not with us today. He's got some other stuff to do. And BB, lots of profits to come, my man. I see how committed you are. I see how hard you're working. And really, it's going to pay off, brother. It's going to pay off. Welcome, Ike, to the building. Ciao, Bella. Grazie mille for joining. Lovely to see you. I will be back in Italy. It seems like I will be back in Italy in the beginning of May. We're looking to go to Sicily, to Palermo. So, Ike, will be lovely to see you again. And yeah, as I say, dumping right now, but really looking to close out this atom trade quite soon. We can see the P&L from that SMC bearish OB has been quite nice. These were the 3 altcoins that I decided to enter. It's the Atom, the Avalanche, and the Cardano. And basically, I decided to enter into these coins because these were the coins that were pumped, right? It was very simple. All I did was I went to my favorites here on Bybit Futures. I went to the 24-hour percentage, and I simply looked at the pumpers, right? Atom had pumped like it was 14%. Cardano had pumped 11%. Avalanche had also pumped almost 10%. Then we see a bearish smart money concept order block, and that's when I decided to hop into the shorts on the pumpers, right? You got overpumped coins, you got a clear new direction from a very strong position of power on Bitcoin, and that's how we do it. I actually decided to not short Bitcoin at that point, But really, the altcoins have played out nicely. And we can see now the avalanche trade is actually popping off. I've taken most of the profits off the table, but we've got a nice cumulative realized P&L on these three trades. And this was from last night to now. So I'm happy with that. And we can see that now the 15-minute RSI is rhyming with its stochastic. So I am actually looking to close out these trades and look for the next major position. And yeah, this really is the trade that keeps on giving. And very, very impressed. I can see that the Discord is absolutely on fire. So well done to everybody that has been actually active here. And as I say, oh, so awesome to see. I mean, JCG, wow, look at this P&L. I mean, brother has been milking it, and we can see putting Market Cipher to the test. And actually, you know what? There's a full Market Cipher course now, guys. There's an intro, there's a setup, there's the bearish divergence, there's the trigger wave. Now there's even advanced VWAP, there's advanced trigger wave, and I'm about to drop the advanced money flow. And in my opinion, now the Market Cipher course, it's almost done. There's a few more things, but it's almost done. And you can see when you follow it, man, it's just so beautiful. And seeing this kind of P&L from my community really, really makes it worth it. And yeah, I did hear from the PIONEX guys that their fees are like under half of 2Bit. So if you are trading on 2Bit, check out the PIONEX link. They do have manual perps trading. And yeah, we've got an awesome campaign there. We're actually going to be having a look at the PIONEX platform today, and I hope everybody has watched that intro video. The Discord link should be in the description, right? Maybe I made a mistake and I didn't put it in the description, but please do join the Discord, guys. Should I quickly drop the link because it's so important? This Discord is becoming it's really becoming a profit center. I absolutely love it. All right, let's have a look here. So brand new Discord link, guys. Brand new Discord link. Please confirm if this link does work. And yeah, super awesome to see what's happening there. And we've also got free capital coming in from some of the exchange partners. So we've got good strategies. We've got free capital. It's time to milk the markets, guys. And yeah, he is absolutely ripping it. It's awesome. My Discord is gone. Oh no. Yeah, McCall, we've been missing you, bro. But I see in the Bybit groups that you are. I know you're working hard, but you're also milking it. And that's awesome. Oh, my Discord has been messing up lately. Weird. Some are having trouble with Discord. For me, Discord has always been like the most reliable. Very in the building. Lovely to see you. All right, so let me quickly take profits on these trades and we can... Woo! We are moving. Look at that. We broke the 600% ROI. Lovely stuff. And I mean, time and time again, just seeing how profitable this smart money concept is and just how well it's working. And I'll show you another, I mean, simple as pie. Guys, I waited for the 15-minute bearish divergence, a break of structure. A few very, very simple things that allowed me to get a very, very nice entry on this trade. So let me see if my chart is big enough, but everybody should be seeing this. It's as clear as day. I'll take the stochastic out for now. Of course, we need the stochastic for the sniper entry, but let me know if the chart is big enough in the chat. It's clear as day to see this, right? We had a 15-minute higher high on price, 15-minute lower low on momentum. Right? Never disregard how important the simple stuff is, like a 15-minute RSI divergence. Did anybody catch my South African accent coming through there? All of my South African friends are telling me, hey, are you from America now? Like, because I stream so much, now I sound like an American. But every now and then my South African accent comes through. All right, so McCall, should I close out this trade? Like, it's hard. I want to close it out now because... you know, this is the completion of the move. We're seeing the opposite, right? We're seeing a higher low coming in on momentum and a very much a lower low coming in on price. So we're getting the opposing divergence. We're actually getting the bullish divergence now, but it's just hard to close this trade when the profits are just rolling in. Absolutely awesome. But yeah, we are getting the rhyme. of the stochastic and the regular. So I think it is time to call it a day. And yeah, it has been a lovely bunch of P&L. Yeah, you've missed a lot, man. The Discord now, you actually have to keep up every day. And yeah, I am finishing up some courses. Guys, I've been doing a lot of very, very hard work in studio. So I will be able to drop more positions daily on altcoins. And yeah, be a little bit more active in the Discord on a daily basis. If you are live with us, please drop us a message in the chat. I believe that Twitter is having problems, X is having problems. So I think we are just on YouTube right now, but I want everybody who is live with us to please drop me a message in the chat so I know who the core crew are here at the beginning. Man, and this is a hard trade to close when we're just milking in the profits. Let's have a look at the avalanche. Avalanche was a little bit disappointing. I felt like I got such a nice entry, and then it's just been really, really slow. I mean, there has been a bit of realized P&L, but other than that, it's just been a little bit slow. So I think what I'll do here is I'll leave these positions open just a little bit longer, and we'll go into the charts like the Cardano trade is about to finally pop off. And please let me know in the chat, did anybody else catch that SMC order block? Right? Or is no one except BB and JCG keeping an eye on the Discord? All right, big huggies in the building. Thank you for joining. Love the sauce. Let's go. Let the sauce be with you. Thank you for joining. And yeah, very nice to be in some profitable trades, guys. I've been actually quite happy with my own trigger patience, right? It's very easy to overtrade. A lot of us know this. Set up a trailing stop. Just found my Discord account with your link. Okay, awesome, awesome. Should we put the Bybit trailing stop to the test here? That's such a good idea. Thank you, BB. That's an epic plan here. Let's just set a trailing stop and then boom. Let Bybit take the profits for us, right? All right, let's go to the 5-minute chart. And yeah, I'm going to do a full close on a trailing stop. And let's just have a look at what kind of a distance we want. We do about a 1.3% on the trailing stop. And yeah, as you can see, they've added the rate, so you can now close your trailing stop according to percentage. A lot of people have been getting very confused. I mean, trailing stop is simple, guys. It's really simple and it's really, really amazing. It is a scalper's dream. There's actually a cool video on my TikTok. If you go all the way back on my TikTok, you'll see one of my first videos is an amazing ETH trade, just milking right behind the price. And what's so cool is you can get, if you're in a short and you get a quick dump and a pump, it follows right there and it smashes it for you. But let's go. Let's try it. Now we can actually set our trailing stop by percentage. I have been waiting for this. This is awesome. So let's go and just drop in a 1% there. And what's really cool is you can actually set an activation price on your trailing stop. I saw McCall that you haven't been using trailing stop. I think it was you, right? You were talking about, it was either you or Emma's talking about that you haven't been using trailing stop. It's really not that complicated. Just like practice it a little bit on demo and you will get it. What's really cool is you can set an activation price. So, you know, if you want to, for your risk management, take your first take profit at a 1-to-1 risk to reward, you can set a trailing stop at your break even at your first take profit. So after you take your first take profit, you can actually make your break even close trail up on your price. It's super, super amazing. But for this one, we're not going to do an activation price because we wanted to activate right now. But let's see what we can do here. And one of my favorite things is actually to just watch the trailing stop do its thing. It is so much fun. All right, so now you can actually see that there is the trailing stop. And, you know, now it's just super, super fun. And yeah, this RSI looks like it is just going to come up and clap our trailing stop. But let's let it do the work and see what happens. It's a great place to be taking profit nonetheless. Is BitGet good for trading? We're not currently trading on BitGet at the moment. I was trading on BitGet, and I am good friends with some of the teams, some of the BDs. And, you know, it's not, I wouldn't say it's my worst platform for trading, but the Bybit link in the description is where you want to be. And then we are finding out that PIONEX has very, very low fees on their manual trading. So I'm also going to start doing a little bit of manual trading on PIONEX, and I'm going to see if I can get us some free capital on PIONEX to manual trade, right? Not just for the bots. So yeah, hopefully we're also going to be getting some free capital on PIONEX for the futures trading. But Aldo, use my Bybit link. There are some coupons there. Also, if you use the Bybit link, I'll bring up the QR code. This is the Bybit sign up QR code. You get $20 just for doing KYC. It's pretty awesome. And yeah, BB, we're working on that account. If anybody else has problems with KYC, let me know. We are working on a solution for those of you who aren't able to KYC. All right, there we go. So just pop me a DM. We are working on a solution. And I also have an awesome DEX coming, right? I'm not going to jump the gun there. It's almost done and dusted, and there's also an amazing campaign there. But I have a DEX for those of you that can't trade on Bybit, and we also now are working on a KYC option. Yeah, so basically you need to use a VPN, but you also need to figure out a KYC. And yeah, right now, use Bybit if you can, or use PIONEX if you're able to actually KYC on PIONEX. And then I'm bringing a DEX option soon. Otherwise, send me a DM if you need some help with your KYC. All right, you, of course. I was like, how is McCall not using? I think it was Emmons. I catch the big long, but didn't dare to take the short from the 1 hour order block. I was afraid it could continue a kind of short squeeze, and I'm exhausted to stare at the screen. Always good to step back if you are tired. But right now, just remember that it really is the shorts that are playing out quickly, right? It's this bear trend, and all of the rallies have just been dumping so nice and quickly. So it's actually the bearish order blocks that I'm more interested in right now. All right, we're super close to our trailing stop trigger. Let's go into some BTC TA. Should I set the trailing stop on these other ones as well? All right, let's put our trailing stop. I love doing it by percent. I love how Bybit has added our percentage now to the trailing stop. All right, also about a 1%. Looks like the magic number here. So cool. They call it by rate, which is now your percentage. 1% retracement. Super cool, man. I love automation, guys. I'm really getting into automation, and that's why I'm so excited about the PIONEX relationship that we are building. I see that some of you are using it, but we're going to keep that a little bit later in the chat, in the stream. Let's quickly put a trailing stop on our Cardano trade. Yeah, we're also going to look at the 3-day death cross. Really, for me, it's not a death cross on the 3-day, right? It's a cross of moving averages. The death cross is your cross of your daily 200 MA over your 50, and that's it. That's a death cross, guys. Calling a 3-day cross a death cross, it's a cross, but it's not your death cross, right? We are going to have a look at the MAs. Okay, I think 1% here is also going to be the magic number. Ooh. Still a little bit tighter here. Let's do a 0.7. Looks like it's moving. I also love the trailing stop because it stops you from acting emotionally. Once you set your trailing stop, you're like, okay, cool. Now I'm going to let the platform do what it does, which is a really nice place to be as a trader. All right, cool. So I don't think we're going to do a super long one today, guys. We're going to do 2 hours. So let's go into some BTC TA. Check out my trade in the Discord. Did you drop it in the live trading charts? In the general chat. Where is it, bro? I'm not seeing it. BTC long trade idea, 2-hour bull div with money flow coming up. Okay, great. Let's have a look. Let's go into some Bitcoin. I just love watching these trailing stops move, but let's give it some time. Okay, so a little bit of a quick recap here on how I got the 4-hour smart money concept that allowed us to really get some nice milkage. And are we good? Okay, stream health looking good. All right, let's move. Most of you are aware of the smart money concept, right? Have a look at the order block tutorial on my channel. If you don't know how to catch these, they are super, super magical. And this one was really simple. And it's so crazy how sometimes the simplest things can give you such nice trades. All right, here is your uptrend. And I like to use the parallel channels for these uptrends because then it makes it so clear when you have your break of structure. And it was clear as day where the break of structure was. And there's an impulse move after the break of structure, which simply means that your last green candle. So if you're starting a downwards move, then your order block is your last green candle. And it's so simple, guys. You just take your rectangle, and what I've been doing at the moment, because things are so volatile, is I've been taking it wick to wick. And we can see, I was even a little bit skeptical about this order block because of how it had already been tapped. But what was interesting there is it was such a quick tap, right? So I thought, you know what, that's not a proper mitigation. That's what we call it when price moves away and comes back to an order block. It's called mitigation. And I thought, you know what, that's just a tease. That's not a proper mitigation back to the OB. So I waited for the long one and I dropped that one because I thought this one is staring us in the face. And yeah, it seems like I was the only one who ended up taking it. I did also get some alerts on the divergences, on the RSI, on the market cipher, and some of the altcoins. And then I hopped into it. And yeah, really nice to see that on Bitcoin. I didn't take the Bitcoin trade, but it gave me the trend for the alts. And it's almost a 5% down there on Bitcoin. And I'm loving this 4-hour time frame. I do want to clean it up and go into the monthly because I like to teach good habits in this community, and that's really what you should be doing, is going out onto the monthly time frame, keeping it nice and naked every time you come into TA. And yeah, I think the symmetrical triangle is super important right now. It's giving us fake outs to both directions. Whiplash on the charts. Very crazy time to be trading. Make sure you are taking your positions from the right places and not anywhere in the breakout trades. I mean, most of you know I don't like to trade the breakouts. But you know what? Let's do it, guys. Let's do it while we still have time on the stream. This head and shoulders was awesome. Before I forget about it, let's just quickly have a look, right? 4-hour head and shoulders. Beautiful trade. Do not forget your simple trading patterns. Very simple to see. There is a head and shoulders pattern, you know, right here on TradingView, and it's actually a lot more clear here on the 1 hour. But when you see a head and shoulders that is just this beautiful, never ignore it, right? Never ignore it. And it was actually one of our South African community that alerted me to this. All right, there's one of our trailing stops. Profit smashed, gone off. I heard the notification. Awesome stuff. All right, and yeah, basically just extrapolate your price target from the head to the neck. I did get a little long scalp here on this trend at the breakout, but really what I was using this head and shoulders for is a move up to this OB, and I was just so happy when it did hit the OB because we can see that the price target for the head and shoulders actually wasn't all the way up at the OB, and I said I'm not going to enter. This was a high volume node on the fixed range volume profile. I'm not going to enter at the high volume node. I'm going to wait for this because this is such a magnet, and it was just so awesome to see that beautiful bearish divergence that came in, and then all the altcoins followed, and I managed to hop in on this trend. And now very simple to see, this symmetrical triangle I think is actually most clear here on the daily. And I think a lot of traders get so bogged down in more advanced trading styles and patterns and indicators, and you forget The simple stuff, guys. Don't forget the simple stuff like a symmetrical triangle. Right now, I would say that this symmetrical triangle is dominating the chart. Let's see which take profit just went off. All right, there it was. The Atom trade is closed. Beautiful stuff. We're still in the Avalanche and we're still in the ADA. So the Atom was over 600%, which was awesome. But these two trades could be just starting out. But I think McCall could be right here about a turnaround. When you see altcoins turning around like this, we could be seeing a turnaround on Bitcoin. So let's go relatively quickly through our larger time frame analysis. We have been doing a lot of analysis, so most of us, I believe, are quite aware of what's happening on the charts. Please do stop me if you get confused. But there it is, guys. Super simple. There is a symmetrical triangles tutorial also on my trading channel on my YouTube. So please do check it out. And yeah, this is classic, right? In the last live stream that we were on the Bybit community, I said, for some reason, I feel like there's going to be a fake out to both sides. And amazing to see, we faked out to the bottom, straight back in, straight all the way through up to the bearish OB. And now coming back to retest and actually retested both of these. And what's so interesting here is that we're right at the apex, right? We're at the point of the symmetrical triangle where really tension is at complete highs. Because really the bulls are wanting the breakout way up and the bears are wanting the breakout way down. And yeah, very interesting to see the fake outs to both sides and just the beautiful smart money concept order blocks playing out. This was quite an interesting 4-hour smart money concept order block because it was such a large block. And you can see here how if you've really got your smart money concept trading down, then this block would have served you so well. Because first of all, you would have seen price mitigating to the block and you would have watched it enter into the zone. This is what we've learned about smart money concept order blocks. You wait for the reaction, right? Once you saw the reaction coming in with volume, you could have entered your trade and already taken some first profits at the resistance, which was a very clear support and resistance flip at the bottom of the symmetrical triangle. Then coming back into the order block, you can watch the reaction here and just add to your trade, add to your trade, add to your trade. You can see 3 big wicks here. Beautiful opportunity to add to your trade. And at the same time, your market cipher gave you this beautiful 4-hour trigger wave dot. Super awesome. Trigger wave at the bottom of your bullish order block. And when you're at the bottom of your bullish order block, that's when you have your best risk to reward ratio, right? If we enter the trade at the top of the order block, you need a nice amount of buffer below your order block. And then this would have given you a pretty lousy risk to reward, like not worth taking. But if you waited for the green dot and then took your long trade when the green dot came in at the bottom, you have this really nice 1 to almost 5 risk to reward ratio. 4-hour market cipher green dot, beautiful VWAP crossed, money flow turned around, all 3 levels of confluence, and absolutely beautiful 4-hour trade. Let me know if anybody in the chat, I think McCall, you got all of these trades I've been seeing in the Bybit groups. All right, what's happening? What's happening? BB, the question is, how do we know the tap is enough to take an entry? There's no saying when it's going to hold. So that's just confluence, right? So if you look at this tap, it's a, let's go back to the last trade. It's a really, really nice question there, BB. If we go back to this last bearish trade here, right? Remember, we're mixing the smart money concept with the market cipher. So really, I mean, it gave such a nice amount of power on the reversal that it was just a nice trade to take. And you do get to know when you trade smart money concept enough. McCall, I'm going to check out your trades now because we can't sleep on that if you're giving us something. I would love to enter a live scalp just for fun. I've milked a nice amount over the last 24 hours. All right, so you see that wick. What that wick looks like on the 15-minute tells you the story that you need to hear. Do you see how much volume came in here on the 15-minute? If you see this kind of a reaction, that is actually the ultimate kind of reaction that you want to see from an order block. Right, an order block being into and spending time in the order block, it can still give you a nice move if you see it leaving the order block. But really, this is what smart money concept trading should look like. It should be a sniper entry at the tippy top. And on the 15-minute here, if you saw that kind of movement coming in, that's when you smash it. All right, and let's have a look here on the 1 hour, the trigger wave, right? So any kind of confluence that you can find, that will help you to understand, okay, the reaction is coming in at the order block. And BB, I can feel it. You're so close. You are so close. You're working so hard. You're studying so hard. You're on the verge of getting it, right? You see that red dot. So nice. It's enough confluence even to have the 1 hour red dot and then wait for that tap. And the VWAP crossing was also nice. I hope everybody's watched my advanced VWAP reversal video now, right? Where I talk about the VWAP curve. Can you see how that VWAP is curving to the downside on its cross? So nice. Our money flow is trending down. And yeah, we got the beautiful tap. And I know it's complicated. It's advanced. It's a nuance, right? It takes time to understand, is there a reaction coming in at the OB? But you're so close to getting it, man. You really are. I can feel it. 4 hour bear div. Check the live trading charts. 4 hour bear div. Oh, wait, let me bring these. How do I do that? Hold on. There we go. Show comments on stage. Yes, let's do it like that. So we need an aggressive response from the OB. Exactly. Check the lower time frames. Look for the bear divs. Like even if you go here to the 5 minute, all right, just have a look at what happened on your market cipher. You were getting bear after bear after bear after bear, right? And a bearish divergence on the 5 minute is not something you take. But if you're looking at a reaction and you go to your 5 minute and you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bear divs, that is giving you a lot of insight that even this 5 minute time frame is just overbought. And that's a Jay Casper strategy, right? That's what Jay does. If he sees a higher time frame bear div on market cipher, he goes down all of his time frames and he tries to see, are there multiple bearish divergences on the much lower time frames all the way up to the current one? And yeah, I've learned everything from Jay. Everything I know about market cipher I've learned from Jay. 4 hour bear div. Is it on MCB? But yeah, you're there. You need aggression. You need volume, right? Same as if you get a retest of a level, you need volume coming in. Is it a hidden? Is it technically a hidden? I think I turned off my hidden. This is probably what I've just been getting the alert for. Wait, what? Is that a 1 week alert? Hold on, let me just figure this out because this alert doesn't make sense. Buy and wave trend bullish divergence on the weekly, but the momentum is lower. Oh, that's not the, sorry. Here we go. Here's the log. 4 hour bearish divergence. All right, so there we go. It's threatening the 4 hour bear div. So at least I'm still in those 2 altcoin trades. But that's the alert, guys, that just popped off. I don't know why it like unprinted here. Where's my line? Where's my bear div line? But yeah, I see it. It's very, very nice and clear. Very nice and clear. McCall, have you entered this already? Because it's looking juicy. We've got our money flow tanking. We've got our VWAP crossed. We've got a very clear bearish divergence on price. And it looks like we're about to break down. I think what I'm going to look for here is a break of this support. And a little retest, just like that. It's happening, bro. Let's go, let's go. No stress, man. Investing in yourself is the studying. School is good, bro. School is good. It will print at the second candle's open. But yeah, what's strange is if I got the alert, it already printed, right? If I got the alert, it printed and disappeared. Because that's the only way I could have gotten this alert, and I've already gotten the alert. And you see here, this is what we need to figure out for you, BB, because you see how it says webhook successfully sent. It sent me the alert. It sent me the webhook. So yeah, I don't know why your webhooks are for some reason delayed. But it looks like it printed and disappeared. Probably because of that wick. But we're dumping. Okay, Atom's closed, but Avalanche, we're still going to milk a little bit out of this trade. Nice. Okay, McCall, let us know what you're... Oh, so it's actually your trading alert view that's so delayed. Man, that is weird. It's like I need to sit down with you. I think we need to have a private session, and I just need to... We just need to troubleshoot, you know, why this is happening. Because that 4 hour printed for me exactly on the 4 hour close, and it gave me the alert. All right, McCall, it seems like you're actually trading here. Okay, let's have a look. Alerts at the second candles open on all time frames. That's weird, man. Very strange. We'll figure it out, bro. We will figure it out. Okay, so for some reason I'm not seeing the bear div print right now, but let's just go down these time frames a little bit and see what's happening. We do have a nice 2 hour trigger wave right up at the SMC, but right now nothing really recent for the dump except money flow coming down. I'm a little bit nervous to hop on this trend now because we're at support. We're literally at support. Big squeeze happening. Yeah, so webhooks are a must because then, you know, while you're trading on Bybit, you literally get the notification. It's so cool. Like you see here on my Bybit, there it is, buy and wave trend, bearish divergence. Super, super cool. It's so useful because while you're trading, like even if you're not actively charting on TradingView, you see the alert. All right, so let's just see what happens here, guys. At least we're nice and volatile right now. We're 2 hours into the New York session. And we're squeezing at the apex. These are two gigantic support and resistance flips. All right, and I want to go into some 1 hour OBs because there is a whole bunch. But what we're going to do is some quick due diligence because I want to teach this crew the right habits, right? I know there are beginners here with us, and I want everybody to learn the right habits here, which is to make your chart nice and naked and zoom out to the monthly time frame. All right, massive learnings here about how the monthly time frame actually just nailed these tops. It's so crazy. And in retrospect, it seems so simple, but you know, this is something that we just really need to keep aware of here, right? We should still be in a short from the top. I think, McCall, you might have a short from there, but we should all still be in the short from the bear div because really the only flip point for that monthly time frame short, which is like a portfolio margin trade, should be all the way down at the bottom, this green monthly dot. which would be when you can literally short the top, the all-time high, and then close that trade and flip and long the market at the market bottom. So nice. All right, let's just do a little bit of monthly time frame analysis. I'm going to leave that in there because that really is the level I'm looking at for the next monthly, weekly, long. But what we can see here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bearish monthly candles. It is crazy. We have not seen this many monthly candles in many, many years, guys. I can't remember the last time we saw stuff happening this bad. I would have to go to the index, but really it's been many years since we saw Bitcoin giving this much dumpage on the monthly time frame continuously. And for me, it's pretty good actually. It's like, okay, if we're bear trending, let's get it out of the way, and the more we can bear trend, the nicer uptick we can get from there. And we can see this monthly time frame candle is giving us a nice wick. But in my opinion, it doesn't really seem like it's over. We see a wick there. We see a little bit of a pump up. That was our massive bear flag. And, we've got a range forming here. We need to see what happens. There's some beautiful levels above us. There's some beautiful levels below us. But we're not going to pull the trigger on any much larger time frame trades here until we get really nice weekly signs on our market cipher. Okay, I just want to make sure we're doing the due diligence properly here. Okay, so let's have a look at our RSI. But firstly, we can see our money flow on the monthly is still clearly just pointing down, right? Very, very clearly pointing down. And our VWAP right now is not showing signs of turning around towards a reversal. On the monthly time frame, it looks like we are pretty far away from a reversal. That's just the bottom line. Let me make this a bit smaller. There we go. All right, so here we can see the last VWAP cross. Awesome. At that last range to the bottom, we can see this VWAP cross was also really nice. On the reversal, this VWAP cross was nice. These monthly VWAP crosses are really, really amazing. And what we can see now is we need a lot of movement on this VWAP to come near to giving us a cross. All right, and it also looks like our wave trend is making its way down into the lower territory. And what this is looking like on the monthly is smack bang in the middle of a bear market. All right, you can see this previous bear market is super, super similar here on the monthly. Yeah, this wave trend came all the way down. Now we're kind of in the middle. All right, I also want to bring up the RSI 1 second. All right, so we can see here how the RSI has now dropped below the 50 level on the monthly, which is a really strong sign of some further bearish moves to come. The 50 level usually acts as a bit of a floor, or if we go down below it, it can actually, equal a little bit further down. But I want to go from there onto the weekly and have a look at this RSI, which is giving us a little bit of a prettier picture. Right, we are seeing weekly RSI in oversold, which firstly is a great sign to see that. And we are seeing our trend on our RSI starting to look like it wants to turn around and change. And that will be the first sign of at least some kind of a relief rally. What I am looking for here is a bullish divergence on the weekly time frame. Let me pull this to the side because of the chat, that we can see that our previous bear market bottom RSI came all the way down to this level, which is 25. And right now our RSI is sitting at 27. So, I mean, it doesn't have to rhyme here, but that for me is the magic level. We can also see that that 25 level was also the previous bear market bottom. All right, you see that 25 shark fin. So that's what I'm looking for now. Some capitulation down to the 25 level. And then I want a bull. All right. I want this kind of a reaction. And it would actually mean for us to get a weekly bull here would mean lower prices, right? Everybody knows what a bullish divergence is. So first of all, lower prices now, down to that 25, then up, and our momentum stays higher while our price comes lower. And that really for me is the larger weekly play right now. Are we still live? Is everything cool? Are the crew just very engaged? I don't see the chat happening, but that's cool if everybody's watching and listening and finding your own charts to share with us. I love it. All right, and looking at the weekly candles, we can see what could be some kind of a swing failure pattern starting to happen, because we are seeing the size of our red candles becoming very small, and we are seeing nice big wicks at the bottom of these candles. What is something to keep in mind here is the potential 3 black crows. Right here we had not your typical 3 black crows because of the wicks. There were some wicks on these like we are seeing here, but what we did see are 3 big red bodies, and it did end up playing out. And now again we are seeing 3 big red bodies and a continuation. And I mean, wow, so many weekly red candles. All right, let's pull up this market cipher weekly. And, you know, a lot of you might think this is boring, but really this kind of larger time frame analysis, you would be surprised how important it is to understand this larger trend. All right, and it looks like weekly is very, very close to popping off on a green dot trigger wave. Our VWAP is about to cross. Our wave trend is about to cross its own slow moving average for a green dot. And our money flow needs to turn around. If we get these 3 levels of confluence, there will be a nice swing trade here on the weekly. And the weekly time frame is looking super juicy for a reversal. All right, we can see that this is a very, very strong support level because it was such strong resistance before we could have this heavy impulse move up from that level. And now we're sitting on it as support. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get a little bit more of a fakie below it for a nice bull. But either way, this is looking like a level that could send us up to basically retest this major support that was broken. Right? And that's what's so cool about these weekly timeframes, is they allow you to see these resistance levels for what they are, which is super significant. There could be a really, really nice trade here. But yeah, we're waiting for this to print and confirm. You saw a green dot there yesterday. Oh my gosh. All right, wait for it to confirm, right? Wait for it to confirm. But yeah, it's looking like it is all coming together there. And actually nice to see the charts dumping a little bit more so we can get a better entry onto that trade. All right, and then weekly is where you can start bringing up your Fibonacci's, your fixed range volume profile, your moving averages. What's happening? Manhattan Crypto Capital Hedge Fund is in the house. Interesting. Tuning in from the heart of Wall Street. I believe I've seen you before on one of my streams. Welcome, welcome. Can't teach me. Can't take me. Welcome back. All right, we got a Wall Street trader in the building with us. Coming to the dark side and trading crypto, we are going to have a little look at gold. The gold and silver pullback really treated us nicely. Gold has been pumping. But let us know if you've got any interesting Wall Street strategies, Wall Street tips that you can help us with. Lovely to have you in the building. Thanks for joining. All right, so first thing we can clearly see here is that we need to be doing a Fibonacci on this trend. Right, again, do not disregard how a simple Fibonacci retracement can be everything you need. All right, so from the bottom of the wick on that trend to the top of the wick on that trend, we can see that we are right now sitting on the bottom of the golden pocket of this larger Fibonacci. Super important, and also a really nice sign to show that if we can get a pump from here on this weekly, we have very, very nice take profit levels. And actually a nice looking trade. All right, actually a nice looking trade with first major take profit, as I said, at that support and resistance flip. And then right here, we can clearly see there's this weekly bearish order block, right? And that will be very interesting to see. If we come up to that weekly bearish order block, guys, I'm going to smash a high margin, a high leverage trade there because it's just too clear. And even if we do go up further from there, I feel like that is going to be a banger trade. So let me be very clear right now. It's a weekly time frame idea, but it's just looking so strong. And we saw how that last 4-hour order block played out. And if you can get a weekly order block, you are winning. All right, so here it is. There is your uptrend, right? We all know this debaucherous bear flag, right? Once we broke this uptrend, there was proper impulse moves that literally have not stopped. It's been red candle after red candle after red candle. Lower trend line of the triangle you spoke earlier is breaking. Let's go. Nice to see. I can see on the weekly even that candle is moving. We're getting a little bit of info here. Let's just quickly check out these trades. Oh, let's go. Trailing stop about to do the work for us. Nice to see. All right, but let's get through this because it is important. And I know it's almost like everybody's too zoomed in on the charts to remember these trades. Like, guys, I dropped that 4-hour sniper entry order block. And like, draw it into your charts, right? Set the alert at the order block. Make sure you're looking for the confluence. But if we do work here, that's not the end of it, right? You do the work here, but then you actually monitor those zones and take the trades from the zones. All right, anyway, this is the weekly order block. If we go wick to wick, it's quite a massive order block, which is why you need to wait for the signs when you're in that order block. But really, this is looking almost too good to be true, right? Nice mitigation, no matter what happens, nice mitigation up to this order block. Wait for your confluence. And we can see here, it looks like it's going to be this beautiful 0.382, which could act as a nice take profit there. So let me be clear here, right? There is the weekly golden pocket. Here's major take profit, and then there's major take profit with a nice swing, scalp possibly turning into this weekly swing all the way back down to here. All right, very nice. I feel we're going to have our first bottom the first week of the month. Interesting. All right, let's have a look. Yeah, maybe I will, right? Maybe I will. I like to teach you guys to fish and not give you fish, right? But I am going to start dropping some of my entries. I just find, you know, me and Tuffy, we both find this. As soon as we start saying, okay, I'm entering a trade now, then the whole community just waits for me to tell you what to do. I would much prefer to help you guys as a community to find the zones and then teach you, because if I can teach you, you won't even need me, right? You won't even need me. You'll look for the right signals up in these zones and you will take the trades. But yeah, this is such a massive one. I will let you know when I am taking the trade. I'll even let you know about this weekly long if I decide to take it. Very interesting. We're getting a perfect fakie below the 786. It looks juicy. Did you enter the avalanche? We were talking about the avalanche long. I think, you know, I had a limit order there, which added to my accumulative long position, but I just shorted avalanche last night, and now we're currently moving down in the short. It hasn't been bad. It was the atom that really did so well, but it's not terrible. It's not terrible, and it looks like we're going to trail a little bit more profits here on the avalanche. But I have been adding to the longer term accumulation, yeah. We'll have a look at the avalanche trade chart, definitely. Interesting outlook, Aldo. Lovely to have you in the chat. Okay, I'm trying to take it slow here. Just make sure I don't leave anything out. All right, this is when you can start looking at your moving averages. And we can see it's pretty strange on the weekly that we haven't come down to hit that slower moving average. It's like, why? Why hasn't that happened? It's pretty weird. All right, another reason I'm expecting a freaky bit of fake out there before a nice move up, because like, why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we find that moving average, sweep the liquidity before coming back up? And that could be a nice move all the way from this 200 all the way back up to this 50. Very, very nice. And we can see how the 50 is also going to come into confluence with that 0.382 and this weekly bearish order block. All right, beautiful. And let's just, I mean, this is so nice. I almost want to screenshot this, but just make sure that you guys are all drawing these levels in on your weekly. And I have taken note of it, so we'll stay aware of these. Should I drop this into the Discord? Just so that we can remember what's happening here. I know y'all think weekly trades are boring, but guys, oh, they can be the milkers, right? That you leave on the charts for so long. All right, so this one I'm going to take out for now so it doesn't confuse us. I'll put it back as we go down. Yeah. So this 200 weekly is a very nice bear market sign, right? So this isn't the index. We'll go to the index and have a look at some more price info. But really, for me, a break below the 200 on this weekly is accumulation time, right? That's when I start to really try and act like a whale and just stack BTC. Stack BTC under the 200, because when we're above the 200 on this, we actually just ride the 50 in the bull market all the way up. When we break down below the 50, we come back to test the 200, smash it back up to the 50, then break below the 200, and that's the accumulation zone there. Anywhere below the 200 is the accumulation zone. And you know, so many traders, it's almost like too obvious, these lower bottom levels. And I hope it doesn't scare you, right? Seeing a potential 35k BTC should actually make you greedy. Because for me, like, Bitcoin's going back above 100, guys. So if we can buy it at a literally 70% discount at 30k, lovely. All right, let's go. MCB 1 to 16 playing out. 4-hour bear div and money flow on the 15-minute thick in the red. All right, let's have a look. So 4-hour, I can see the bear div, although I'm not seeing it actually printing. I can see it with my eyes, but I'm not seeing it printing. But yeah, it makes sense that it is there. Can also see VWAP crossed down. Money flow clearly pointing down. It's looking like a nice 4-hour trade. I think I'm just a little bit scared of this support right here. Actually looks like we're breaking support. Pretty nice. And then 15 minute. Money flow in the red. Interesting. Even got a little 15-minute red dot there right at the bottom. Okay, anyway, let's finish off our larger time frame analysis here. Yeah, you just gotta have really, I don't know what you call it, like the sense, right? The sense. Because if we're below the 200, most people would just be in so much fear that they don't buy Bitcoin. But really, this for me is the accumulation zone below that 200 on the weekly. Like right now, my dollar cost averaging is there and it's slow, but this is where I will start to actually do some buys. Weekly trades are the bomb. I do agree. I do agree. Your life feels like getting in to BTC in 2013. Oh man, I wish. I got into BTC in 2016. I think it was 2016. And I still feel like I was pretty early. Imagine 2013. Okay, so let me quickly just drop this into the group because, yeah, this is something that I want us to just remain aware of. I know it's weekly. It's going to take time. Oh, another trailing stop just went off. Let's go. More profit smashed. Okay, so quick screenshot for the Discord. Okay, nice. Ah, there we go. Okay, live trading charts are popping off. I think I'm going to drop this in the trading setup. All right, so I'm going to say weekly bearish OB confluence with 50 MA plus 0.382. I think it's 0.382. All right, there it is. I should have dropped the... Should have actually put in the short trade. Let me quickly do that. I'm going to put it in the middle of the OB. Actually wanted somewhere a little bit higher up in the OB, but I'm going to put it there. But everyone keep in mind, you don't enter the trade. I'll actually put it in the message. You don't enter the trade at the OB. You enter the trade when you get your signal on your market cipher, etc. There we go. All right, what's happening, McCall? Let's see. Enso on the 10x. I saw this trade, man. And are you trading on your MUBITE account? I saw you on some like demo snapshots, which is obviously the MUBITE. I saw they were low leverage. Did you pass the challenge? Are you now trading the funded account? 695. Look at that. 10x. Which obviously means you've come down 69%. That's crazy, man. Crazy. What a beautiful trade. And there's the 100x still open from 80k. Beautiful trading, man. Beautiful, beautiful trading. Sheesh. Look at that. 1x. Okay, so this is the demo account. Beautiful. So I believe this is your demo account linked to your MUBITE funded account. Really cool. You're milking every direction. So awesome. 10x, 8% up on Sol. Leave us some money. Yeah, what's so interesting is McCall's just like ahead of you. He's ahead of you in the market cipher. That's all. But you're getting there, bro. You're getting there, BB. All right, there's the chart. Nice. Your chart's showing the 4-hour bear div. I can't see what exchange pair you're actually using there. My one's not showing the bear div. Let me quickly see if it's maybe just showing as a hidden div. I did get the alert, which is the weird thing, but it looks like it disappeared on this. This particular chart is OKX just because I have so many Bitcoin charts that this one is on OKX, but I'm not currently trading futures on OKX. Let's just see. Nope. See if it shows up on the Bybit chart. It's not here. It ain't here on the Bybit chart. Weird. Anyway, let's keep going. We're doing well, guys. I think we can finally move on to the daily. I've forced enough due diligence down your ear holes. But spend time, guys. Spend time. There we go. All of our trades have hit take profit. Beautiful. Now we got a nice clean slate. And we're out of the altcoin trades. And it just shows how nicely these 15-minute RSIs, when they rhyme, it's really, really a nice telling. Okay, let's go to the daily. I can clean this up now because we have dropped that screenshot. But I know, actually a few of you are wanting to look at the 3-day. It's not really a time frame that I look at. But let's pop it in. No, I want to add a 3-day. No, it's not showing me. Am I zoomed in here or something? 1 second. Oh, there we go. So yeah, there has been a cross on this 3-day. But just be aware of, people just looking for something and using strange time frames. But yeah, we can see these EMAs are super significant on this time frame. I mean, look how we sat on this 200 on the 3-day. So yeah, it is looking really significant. We can also see how nice the breakdown was from the 50. And there's a bull div. There's the bull div on the 3-day time frame. Interesting. Crazy. VWAP not looking happy. Money flow also confused, but there's a 3-day bull div. And yeah, it looks like, I saw a few of you saying, BB, I saw you also saying that the 3-day 3-day cross hasn't happened for me, right? Hasn't happened for me. And I wouldn't call it a death cross, guys. Like the technical death cross is the daily of the 50 and the 200. And that's long gone. It's long gone already, our death cross. The death cross was actually quite a nice early sign here into the bear market, right? That's your death cross. It was lagging. Market Cipher caught it earlier than the death cross. Much, much earlier with this bearish divergence. But the death cross was like the confirmation that if you're in a short trade here, hold on tight because much more profit is coming. And then boom, there was your second bearish divergence. And I just love this indicator so much. Nothing gets it better. Nothing gets it better. And this daily time frame for me is the easiest time frame to understand when you're learning market cipher. From this bearish divergence. I mean, what's so crazy is this bearish divergence came before the 10th of October crash. Yo, look at that. 33% down from a bear div. So nice. And then the next one. $33 down. Next daily time frame divergence, guys. We're taking this as a community. I want to see everybody's snapshots, right? Even if you put $10 on the trade, I want, like, these, we need to be entering these as a community. Like, every now and then one of them won't play out, right? This one was like a little bit tricky. We only got a few percent down, but really they are smasheroonies. So maybe this is one that I will, tell you when I enter. But yeah, even this bull div was so nice, and it was also in such nice confluence. You can see why I love the 50 and the 200 so much on this daily time frame. Look at this bull div at the support of that 200, and then boom, smashed up to the resistance of the 50. And then once we broke that 200, it was over. Then your death cross came in. Whenever the 3-day death cross happens, it's near to the first bottom. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, let's check it out then, all right? Let's go to the Bitcoin index, right? So this will show you the history of Bitcoin over all time. And it's such an amazing chart, like, to go back and really understand, what were the main signals. Now, we're definitely going to look at the PIONEX bots. We're definitely going to look at the PIONEX bots. And yeah, I want you guys to take it slow, right? But yeah, this is going to be something awesome for all of us, and something that I'm also getting into. Let me actually screenshot this for the boys. Because PIONEX is being awesome, guys. Actually, one of my close friends is, one of the very, very core team in PIONEX. So very cool. We're getting the best possible campaigns. It's so awesome because they like our community. That's what's so great. They like our community. Anyway, we're going to have a look at PIONEX shortly. Let's have a look here. Yeah, weird, hey? Are we on the 3-day? Yeah, because what I'm seeing here was the death cross way before. I'm curious about the weekly MAs here. So you might be referring to the weekly more. But if we look at the weekly MAs of the 50 over the 200, then we can see that that death cross was just after the bottom. But really, this is the accumulation zone anywhere below the 200. And if we take this image here, right? Take this image there and just relate it to what we're seeing right now on the charts. It looks like we're somewhere here, right? And we just need to have this proper bear market winter below. Come on. There we go, below. And you can actually come here and zoom, measure and say, okay, how far did we go down? 20, 30% below that MA. Whew. There we go. That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me for a nice bottom. Anyway, very cool insights from the crew. Thank you, guys. Yeah, this 3-day looks like if it crosses, it's a sign of crazy, crazy stuff to come. It was a little bit of a different scenario last time. Very interesting, though. Not max pain, not even close. I would not even say close to max pain. The opposite indicator in the depths of the market for your bottom is your market cipher on the weekly or the monthly. For your bottom, you can see I actually have it circled there, right? And this is the tutorial that I just dropped today on the Coin Bureau trading channel where I talk about the trigger wave. So I'm not going to go into it too much now, but I'm finally at the point, guys, where I'm giving you the best of the best, the most meaty, complicated, advanced strategies on Market Cipher. It's taken me a very long time to get the crew through enough Market Cipher learning. Market Cipher is not easy at first, but now we're there, guys. This is it. This is what you look for, right? The bullish divergence, then the trigger wave, and boom, that's your bottom. So watch the video. It's on my channel under the Market Cipher playlist. And yeah, I mean, it's so awesome, guys. It happens time and time again. And it's not looking like we're anywhere close right now. But next weekly dot I am going to take. Yeah, monthly also looking like we're not anywhere. Not anywhere close yet. This index is so nice. So cool. Iran says they are ready for war. Oh my gosh, I'm getting news alerts. Iran rejects US nuclear demands. That is why we are dumping. That is why we are dumping, guys. $7 hours ago, 6 hours ago, 3 hours ago. Okay. Yeah, the crosses can be super late and lagging and delayed, but if we look at the last 3-day cross, yes, it looks like it could be major dumpage. But just like be real with yourself, right? And have a look at when this cross printed. If you look at where price was when the cross printed, it was here. So it's halfway through the move, which means it's a little bit laggy. Really, the nice place to get in was the break of that 200. But yeah, so basically it would play out like this. Right, there was that beautiful early break of the 200. And this cross, really, I'm expecting some relief, right? It doesn't have to happen the same as it did. But if it does cross here, you could see further just move down from there. Super nuts. But yeah, not unintelligible, unimaginable. How much time after that cross was the bottom? I'm loving how active you guys are in the chat right now. I've been missing my community. But I've been making courses, guys, so it's right. It's all right. As long as I'm contributing. Okay, after the cross to the bottom. See, the thing is, our bottom was like this winter. So you can almost call this whole section the bottom. But if we look at true bottom after the cross in terms of time, 189 days. Go more back and it rhymes. Interesting. You mean to like further markets? Further cycles? Wow. Okay, crazy. Look at that. Whew. At the cross. At the cross, the dump. That is gnarly. Yeah, it seems like a long time to the bottom, but it's about right. Okay, so if we look at our 4-year cycles, I've done this a few times, so I'm not going to do it now, but basically what we look at is 3 years up, right? 1,000 days up, and then 1 year down. So from the bottom, 1,000 days up, which is like your 3 years, and then you have your 1 year down, right? We see here 1 year down. So really, I think people in crypto are like almost spoiled brats, right? You get like the 4-year cycles have been consistently giving us 1,000 days up and then 1 year down, and everybody gets so depressed and so mopey because they are so used to just going up for 3 years. All right, 1,390%. How crazy is that? From that bottom, 2,300% in 1,000 days. 3 years, 2,000% up. And everybody just gets so used to crypto must just give me profit. Crypto must just give me profit, give me profit. And then 1 year down, everybody gets so upset. Almost exactly 1 year down, but it is a 77% down. And yeah, basically we've seen now, let's try to get it exact, 146 days. So to get our full year from here, we'd still need to get our 386 days, or 365 days, somewhere there. Looking around October 2026, somewhere around the bottom. It's not terrible, guys. It's not terrible. I have no problem with the year of bearishness if we can have the next 3 years. Imagine if we go all the way to 2029 going up. Seems to add up. We're looking at the end of third quarter. Yeah, exactly. They have a meeting in Geneva. Interesting. All right, let's bring up OpenAI. I've got a very cool video dropping tomorrow, guys, and it's one of the videos that I am actually the most proud of. Out of, yeah, a lot of videos that I've dropped. And it's about the AI bubble. So I want everybody to watch it tomorrow. It's on the Coin Bureau podcast channel, which is more of a rounded view of what's happening in finance. And so much research has gone into it. I'm really, really proud of it. I had a really cool research assistant, a really cool helper. A lot of you guys in this community do know Jess. She's been in my community for 4 or 5 years. And she's learned so much, and yeah, she informed me so much for this AI bubble video, and I'm so proud of it. So yeah, you guys can watch that tomorrow. All right, so let's go. OpenAI. What's happening with Iran and US right now? Vary on X. Some people claim BTC will hit almost, what is that? 10,000. That would be a big dump. Yeah. No, literally 8,000 is possible. Like there's technical analysis on the charts that say 8,000 is possible. All right, US-Iran nuclear talks live. Practical proposals discussed. Within reach, there is a deal. Holding indirect nuclear negotiations in Geneva. BB, nice. To try to avert a major conflict. Not direct face-to-face, mediated. With Oman facilitating engagement. Interesting. Both sides say progress is possible. Especially if nuclear issues can be separated from border disagreements. A deal could be within reach. No development of nuclear weapons and the right to civilian enrichment. Oh, so they're both saying, fine, I won't make weapons if you don't make weapons. And then, of course, they're both just going to lie and make nuclear weapons anyway. US has expanded sanctions targeting Iran's oil trade. Interesting. War is not certain yet, but the risk remains because US forces are poised and the political rhetoric is sharp. Iran insists it won't back down on key security demands. Diplomacy is ongoing but fragile and indirect. Oil markets and global geopolitics are reacting to the uncertainty. Interesting stuff. Okay, guys. Yeah, we've been going slow, but I think it's good. I think it's been a while. I'm selling my shorts. Oh, to buy Bitcoin. Okay, nice. Do you want me to show you the 8K just to scare everybody? Maybe I should make a short about this. It's pretty nasty. So yeah, it's super controversial, and I know a lot of analysts are looking at this, but there's a few different ways to look at it that are giving different price targets. But basically what we're looking at here is a potential devastating head and shoulders with the neckline now being created. So really, we don't know how valid this is because it's still too early on in the formation of the head and shoulders. But it's looking pretty clear that if we do move up from here and we don't make a higher high, which would make sense because we broke market structure, right? We made a lower low now. So why would we make a higher high? Unless TA is just broken and whatever, the US pumps crypto back above all-time high, awesome. I'll be super happy. But if we're looking at market structure here, and TA has anything to say on this, then if we do come up from here, we should make a lower high below all-time high. And if we do that, it does look like a head and shoulders. And if that is a head and shoulders, it's crazy gnarly. Crazy gnarly. Like, say we just make the left shoulder, the right shoulder, like somewhere around as big as the left shoulder. So maybe even a bit smaller. But something like this. Like maybe even, you know, that order block level that we were talking about here. And it's almost like we're watching this play out. We're watching this, and then from there, this is where it gets a little bit controversial. Like, where exactly is the neckline? You know, some people will take their extrapolation of price target on a head and shoulders from the top of the right shoulder. I've now very recently seen that people do that. Mine has always been from the break of the neckline. So from the distance from the neck to the head, and then at the break of the neckline down. And this for me is why I'm talking about these like ridiculously bearish levels under 10K. I'm not personally expecting below 10K, like it would be a horrendous break of yearly market structure. It would be like pretty unfathomable that we'd go back to previous bear market bottom. But yeah, if we're looking at extreme head and shoulders target, then that is what we are looking for. And I already have limit orders set below 10K. I already have limit orders set there because this can happen quickly, guys. We can get a war, we can get the next COVID outbreak at the same time as the war, and we can get this move and then back up, and it can happen before you even blink and you miss it. So if you do have savings, you know, there's savings that you can say, okay, actually these are savings that I want to keep. But if we see a 5K Bitcoin, maybe it's worth putting some of those savings in. And those are the kinds of savings that you can put at a limit entry, and you have to ladder it. You have to ladder your limit entries down and make them bigger to the bottom. So I'll just do this very quickly, but basically you ladder bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger buys at price increments down. And then these are your biggest buys at the bottom, which are unlikely to pop off. So very likely you will keep them as USDT, as liquidity, but it would be worth it to get those lowest buys with your biggest amounts. It's worth not wearing socks. Yeah, what's so interesting is we've seen people sell their houses, right? And everyone laughed at them in previous bear market bottoms. There was that one guy that sold his house and then he slept on his friends' couches with his family. There's photos of him sleeping on his friends' couches with his family, and then he bought 5 houses. But anyway, I would not recommend being reckless, guys. Never, right? There was a lot of forward thinking and insight that went into that story, but there was also a lot of stupidity and luck, right? Looks like a dong. I so often draw nasty things on the charts by mistake. You're waiting for the top of the right shoulder, yeah. Yeah, man, I feel bad for you that you bought those horrible coins. Like, I'm just so glad you're in my community now. Yeah, I do feel bad that you bought those terrible coins. But really, if anything, I wouldn't sell them at a loss. Oh. Wow. Litecoin. Yeah, imagine altcoins at those prices. Okay, we're an hour and a half in. Guys, it's been very slow, but I feel like it's been very important. And it makes sense that it's been slow because I haven't been with the crew for a while. So I'm fine with that. I'm happy. But I think let's spend some time now looking at PIONEX because they are giving us these awesome campaigns. And it is something that I'm getting into personally, the automation. And something that I want the whole crew to get involved with me, especially because we do have these awesome bonuses, right? So let me know in the chat who has so far managed to actually secure these bonuses. I want to know that it works, first of all. Has anybody tested this? Has anybody registered? And basically just for doing your KYC2, you should receive 50 USDT in a grid trading bonus, which is super cool because even on a grid bot, you can make money just on the 50, which is nice. But what I want you to do is I want you to stack this original 50 USDT KYC bonus with whatever you can do here, right? For the higher margin traders, right, you can deposit a little bit more. And let me be very clear here, right? There is risk in this. We are learning and they are bots. It's not a sure bet that they will make profit. So make sure that really what you are depositing here, especially while we're learning, first of all, what you're depositing to use on the bots, make sure you're willing to lose always. But then also make sure that when you're opening your first bots, right? I'm going to be opening bots. I do have a lot of experience with bots, but this is my first time using PIONEX, so I am going to be taking it slow. But make sure when you copy the bots or when you open your first bots, you are using the bonus that you do receive. And really the 500 is super nice. Like guys, you can just deposit $1,000 and keep it there for a bit, right? And then use your $500 bonus with your grid bots. You don't even need to use the $1,000. All right. If you see good profits coming from the free capital that I've worked to get you guys this, so please take advantage of it. All right, BB, I'm very proud to see that you are taking advantage of it because it's free money, guys. It's free money that I've worked to give you. And what's so awesome is whatever I bring to this community, I do a huge amount of research on. And I've spoken to some of the best traders that I know, right? Bitcoin Hyper, Satoshi Stacker, Sheldon Sniper, and they've all told me, I said very honestly, I went straight to them and I said, are the PIONEX bots profitable on the whole, or are we going to get burnt? And they all said yes. It takes understanding, it takes learning, but we've made money. Satoshi Stacker especially, right? He's been extremely transparent and he's done multiple challenges with his community. Some of them have been from under $1,000 to over $10,000, and he's even done one that was $10,000 to $100,000 that he made with his community on the bots. And for me, this is like super inspiring. I'm very close to the PIONEX team now. We have our group in the Discord, which actually has the PIONEX team in there for straight up exclusive customer support. And we're also going to be running like bot trading competitions and some more bonuses. But for right now, get involved in this. Don't stress about the timer. If don't be in, it's gonna reset. The timer will reset, and you will have time to do this. But just make sure you get into it because I am now working on the next tutorial, which is me opening my first bots that you'll be allowed to copy. And I want you to be able to open your own bots and copy your bots with this free capital. And I want everybody to move along with us. Open the random ETH bot and let it run, but I think if we learn to tweak the bots, it could work better. Yeah, so the AI bots are cool, and you can take some of this and drop it onto the AI bots, and that's one of the nice things about the PIONEX platform is it allows AI to create bots which have, back-tested metrics, but always remember that when you're entering a copy bot, you're not entering at the same price, right? So what that bot has made in profit is never going to be a guarantee of your own profit. If the bot is working on current volatility and you remain in the same range or you remain in the same trend, you could make nice profits. But really, what's best to do, and make sure you watch the intro video that I created. It's very important that everybody watches that first video because there I show you the basics of the analysis that you need to do to create your own bots. And really, that's what you want to be doing is opening a bot, your own bot at the ultimate price. Right, instead of copying a bot. But it was denied. Interesting. I did request with PIONEX, tried to claim the bonus, but was denied. Had to first deposit funds before I can claim the bonus. Why make promises and not keep them? Wait, so you didn't get the 50? You didn't get the 50 for doing KYC until you deposited? Interesting. Okay, anyway, let me bring up the platform. I seem to have lost that landing page, but that's all good. We did look at it. But yeah, that's what I need to hear, guys. I need to hear your feedback on this, right? That's the exact kind of feedback I need to hear. I did the request of PIONEX, tried to claim the bonus, but it was denied. Had to first deposit funds. Okay, let me send this to them and let me just clarify here. Earth, thank you for that, man. I appreciate it. All right, there we go. I've sent it to them. Yeah, so maybe that's in the stipulations. We can have a look. Let's get down to the bottom of this. Try to register now. And immediately. Oh my gosh. Yeah, guys, remember this is going to be another account, right, that we're going to grow. So it's important to make a strong password and do your 2FA. Make sure there's 2FA on there. But yeah, do the forgot password. All right, no, got no bonus, but did the KYC. Okay, let's just read here. Registration is required to participate. Rewards will be distributed to eligible users by every Friday. Okay, so there we go. Maybe you just have to wait for Friday. When did you do that, Earth? When did you do that? All right, so it has to be within 15 days of registering that you make your KYC or your deposit. Any trading pair. Net deposits within 3 days will add up to your accumulation. Oh, you did it on Friday. Okay, yeah, so maybe you have to wait for tomorrow. Yeah. Oh no, wait. Yeah, Earth, let us know when you did it, because yeah, it looks like you'll just get it on Friday. But this is also why I want you guys to do this as soon as possible, right? I don't want you to be left behind. All right, risk control mechanism. Cool, 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 because it is nice bonus. It is nice bonus. If you can just get your $100 in, then you're sitting at $150. And like I say, keep your capital on the side until you're very confident with your ability. Ah, okay, nice. No problem, bro. No problem. That's awesome. Then you should get it tomorrow. You should get it tomorrow. But yeah, guys, you have to be honest with me, be harsh with me. Like, if this isn't working, we need to know, right? We need to know, because I believe it is working, because yeah, BB did get his bonus and he opened a bot. So please make sure you're also... What I've done is I've just opened the Discord room right here, right? It's right here. And it's not set up yet, but basically what they're going to do is that you will have to have a UID on PIONEX under my link to be able to access this room. And then this room will have the PIONEX guys in it, and they will help you if you run into any like issues on the platform. And there will also be extra bonuses in this group, like P&L competitions, etc. And guys, if BB's winning right now, right? BB's actually running a bot in profit. All right, and BB, one thing I'll tell you here is that in my experience with grid bots, and like, it was so interesting, my grid bot history on Bybit, because I'm good at defining grids, and I'm really good at making sure that my volatility is right on the amount of grids within that range. But what I'm not good at is closing the bot when it's in profit. Right? So what's been really important for me is to understand that you need to put your stop losses very tight above and below that range, so that when that range breaks, you keep your accumulated profits. Because on some of my bots, the one bot, I was even in over $1,000 profit on a grid bot, but then I was greedy because I didn't close the bot. And when the range broke, when I came back to check on it, orders that were left open were in such a big loss when the range broke that I lost all of my profits and I made a small loss. Right? And it was like, profits are never yours until they're realized. So BB, even with this bot, like, even if it's $13, like, bro, just take it. Like, take the profits and then, you know, start a new one. I would say wait for like $30, $50, right? And close the bot. Just make sure you're realizing profits, especially at the beginning, because what we're doing here is we're growing small accounts to big accounts. Once I finished with the course, which is just going to be a couple of videos, we're going to do a challenge for the community where we're going to all fund a certain amount, and then we're going to work together to grow it like Satoshi Stacker did. Because, I mean, it's so impressive. It's so impressive. So that's what I've done here on this account is I have funded it. And now I'm going to be opening my own bots. And these are the bots that you can copy with your bonus. So I will be dropping my first video early next week where I create my own bot, and then there's a link where you can copy that bot. And I want you to try and copy it quite quickly, which is why I want you to get the bonuses now. Right? So that we're risking the bonuses when you're copying my first bots. And I mean, I identified this range quite early, and we can see if we had already been working in this range, we would have already accumulated nice profits. But it's fine. We're not FOMOing in. We're not running after a train. We're going to do it nice and slowly. And I think my first bot is going to be a low leverage futures long bot. So I'll explain that now. All right, nice. Arpod, let me know if you actually got the free dough. Guys, even if it's just the KYC, get that $50, right? But try do the $100 deposit. And then save that $100 and get the, because $150 I think will be enough to milk something. Well, I wasn't even using stop losses on my grid bots and I was doing so well, but then they wrecked themselves when the range broke. So yeah, stop losses very tight on the range. Has everybody watched the introduction video that I dropped? I need something to drink. I'm gonna have to make a little tea, but all good. So basically what I'm looking at is a futures long grid bot, and I mean, it's very cool that I have such nice contacts in the team, because they've actually let me know that now would be a bot that they would say would do very, very well. And you know, I'm still learning here with you guys, but basically the theory behind a futures long bot is that it'll basically look like this, right? So if we enter it at these prices, then any drawdown on the bottom, of course, we also have to have a stop loss. So we'll figure out, you know, where are the levels we expect it to go, where are the levels we don't think are adequate. And I think I'll use such low leverage that I'll basically make it just buy, literally just buy all the way down. And then what happens is you say, okay, if we're looking at a bear market now with these kinds of lows, literally anywhere here, and this is why it's going to be super low leverage, like literally a 2x or a 3x. And we're going to make the grids not too close together. So the bot will literally just continuously buy as price goes down. And then each buy will have its own take profit. And then what happens is, as your bot goes down, it buys, and then as it comes back above its entry, it continuously sells. And yeah, this is going to be the first bot that I'm going to create, because I think that this is something that can help us to be non-emotional in the fear. And yeah, I still have to get to the bottom of like exactly how this is going to work, but we can take a look at it now together. But let me just put on this kettle. It might be a bit noisy, but I don't mind having a little bit of a longer stream with y'all, because I can see the crew is hot in the building. And yeah, I'm loving being with the crew. All right, so you would go here to futures grid. Okay, you see, I have to do my 2FA. There we go. Not even taking my own advice, funding account and not putting on 2FA. But anyway, we'll do it. All right, futures grid. So now you have to choose your pair. That's fine. We're on BTC USDT. And now we have to choose long, short, or neutral. And I really do like the UI. It's similar to the Bybit bot UI, where it shows you your grids on the chart. But really, the neutral bot is the one that I think is really going to milk in this range. Where's my brush? I just want to brush. There we go. I do want to create a neutral bot, but I want to get this long bot open so that we are getting the buys if we do head lower now. And then the next spot I open will be literally this micro range here. And, you know, one of the cool things you can do on this spot is some more complicated stuff where you're at like diagonal support and resistance. But we're going to keep it quite simple at the start. And we're going to do basically just there to there. That's going to be our neutral bot. And then what happens is it takes like the middle of that, and then it does buys in your grid all the way down. I'll show you now, and then buys in your grid all the way up. And then what's so cool is that every time it makes a buy, it makes a take profit. And then these kinds of V shapes, especially where you retrace up to the same level, that's just milking the market for you in a passive way. It's super, super amazing because it will buy all the way down. And then on the way up, it will sell all the way up. And the same thing, buy all the way down, sell all the way up. Some of the trades will get left behind. But because it is hitting take profits, you're accumulating. Right? So you will see different levels of P&L. You'll see your trend P&L, your current total P&L, and your grid profit. And as long as your accumulated grid profit is outshining the rest, yeah, you're good. But actually what I want to start off with, especially because they're recommending it, like basically what they're saying is that because Bitcoin now is at 66,000, if you create a long bot, any drawdown now on the way back to 100 is going to equal good profits. And I have to figure out in terms of the volatility, what leverage, etc. we're going to go to. But let's just do an example now. And I'm going to do a lot of TA on this before I drop the video and drop the copy bot link. But let's just figure it out, right? So if we say 10,000, yeah, and that's going to be like, really, that's my major project. That's my major project. And one of the major reasons I'm getting involved is because, well, I'll show you just now, right? There's this thing called a signal bot where you can take your webhooks from TradingView and pop them in. I just need to figure out how we're going to get our confluence because it's easy enough. I can do it now, right? To make a signal bot that longs a 4-hour bullish divergence. But what I'm going to struggle with is how do we make sure that it only longs the 4-hour bullish divergence if the money flow is going up and the VWAP crossed. And it's going to take a little bit of coding, but I think I can do it. And that's my major project. Imagine, guys, we have market cipher bots that everyone can copy and we can get a cumulative P&L as a community. And there are different ways that these bots can be copied, which is also super interesting. And I still need to properly understand it. And we're going to get Pavan on here, right? Pavan I met in Portugal, and he's like the top BD in PIONEX, and also now a mate of mine because he's such an amazing guy. But we're going to get him on here to help us understand exactly how this is all going to work. But there are going to be two different ways of copying. You can basically, by copying, create your own bot with your own amount and P&L. And then there's also going to be a way where we can all accumulate into the same bot with our investments. And, you know, yeah, we'll see which one's going to work better for us. All right, so 10,000 at the bottom. And then highest price, I'm tempted to just like go up to the Fibonacci retracement at 180K, right? So this is like a long-term play. Yeah, you can. Well, the VMC is what's going to be a little bit more tough. Yeah, I'm tempted to just create a bot on the daily that longs the trigger waves if they're below the 45, but it's like, how do we incorporate the money flow? And then the SMC also, like, it's easy enough to say, okay, if you hit an order block, you long, but there's like, you know, there's manual trading involved where there's decision making where you're saying, okay, there's confluence. So we just have to code basically being able to say, okay, if there's an SMC order block hit on the 4-hour and your 15-minute stochastic is rhyming with your regular or something, right? We need to figure out that confluence. But yeah, it's a super cool journey to be on with you guys. All right, so now the grid quantity. I would love to see what it recommends. 500. Oh my gosh, crazy. Yo. So I guess that's part of the beauty of AI. Honestly, I would not do 500. But yeah, I would do more like 100, right? So every time it comes down to one of these levels, it will buy and it will set a take profit. And here it says profit per grid is 1% to 17%. And then the investment amount, let's just say for now we do 1,000. And then, yeah, slippage control. yeah, it's going to be interesting to understand where to put the take profit and the stop losses on this. And then I like to just use geometric for the grid. And yeah, we'll also figure out whether to do a trailing stop or not. But yeah, I think this is the first bot that I'm going to figure out that I'm going to then let you copy. But I'm going to want you to make sure you get those trial funds first, the free funds, because I want you to be at least copying the bot, like, you know, from a similar entry price as me, so that we're all in kind of the same boat. Because if you do copy at a different time, you will get a different entry price. But yeah, I really love how smooth this platform is, and how the platform is focused on bots. Really, really cool. And you can also trade futures. Apparently the fees are really low, which is cool. But let's just have a look back here again. So this one, right? This signal bot is what I really want to figure out. All you do is create a webhook. All you do is create a notification. It's a little bit more complicated. It's a webhook strategy, right? But I will, once I create my first one, I will also create my own tutorial on this. And I think this is really where the creativity of the crew is going to run wild, where we can create our own signal bots according to our own strategies. Volatile coins like Fartcoin, or coins with big candles like River. For the grid bots, yeah. Or for the signal bot. For the grid bots, we need coins that range. And we're going to start on BTC 100% because BTC does range. And right now we are in a range. So let me quickly show you the neutral bot. And I do want to move on because we've been on this for a bit now. But if you choose a neutral bot and then you just say, okay, the bottom of the range, the support is like minimum 60K, right? And then you say highest price at that tippy top wick 72.3. And then if we break this range, we want to cut it. We want to cut the bot. But we do want to buy down and sell up. And then there's the risk, of course, that we break the range now because we've already been in the range, right? So there's a risk that we just go up and we break the range and then we make a little loss with those sells. Or we come down and we're buying all the way down and we break the range to the bottom. But we know Bitcoin likes to range, and really what's likely to happen here is something like this, right? Where however it happens, it's likely that we actually go up and down with volatility in this range. And this is where the bot can just passively create an accumulated profit for you. Okay, so it's recommending 61 grids. And what's cool about that recommendation is it's using like a little bit of, or basically like options, you know, statistical data, like trying to understand how big is the volatility so that even within single candles, you're making buys and sells every single day, buys and sells, buys and sells. And then on the larger trends, you're also coming back to reach those top levels. Yeah, as you can see, it's easy to use. And yeah, this is quite a cool journey that we're entering onto. So please, guys, sign up, get your KYC bonus. Do it now if you want to receive it tomorrow. And then, yeah, we can start copying the first bots, hopefully on Monday or Tuesday. And yeah, like I say, you don't even have to use the money that you deposit, right? Make sure you get the free capital to learn on. Damn, I'm out of practice for live streams. 1 hour, 58 minutes, and I'm losing my voice. Okay, let's go into some altcoins, guys. Let's have some fun and go into some altcoins. I didn't even get to finish my daily time frame analysis. Okay, it's actually super important, so we have to do it. We have to do it. But yeah, let me just take 1 minute to make a cup of tea, all right? Because I need to look after my voice. But let me know in the chat if everybody's still alive. Yeah, loving being here again with y'all. How are we doing for likes? Does everybody like the stream? 20 likes. Not bad, not bad. I think we can do better. I think we can do better. Is everybody who's here watching like the stream? Who's still with us? Who's still with us in the chat? I want to go into some altcoins. I've got some nice charts noted here. Also want to look at BTCD and Total 3. Our part is still with us. Nice, man. What a typo, dude. Oh my gosh. That is a typo that you do not want to make. But I know what you're referring to. But thank you for the laugh, man. I've been working too hard and I just have this ridiculously stupid, dirty sense of humor. And that is one of the funniest sentences that I've ever seen on a live stream. But I know what you mean. I know what you mean. You're cooking for the little ones. Nice, man. Nice. Okay, a bunch of y'all are cooking. All good. I'm gonna cook on the charts while you guys cook for your kids. Yeah, the market cipher part will be so cool. But who's psyched, guys? Who's into some automation? Because I just feel like it's part of the strategy that right now we're missing. Right? We're doing swing trades. We're doing some day trading sometimes, and we're doing scalping. But why not also master automated trading so that we can accumulate? And like, you just need to think bigger picture here, which is why I spoke to the other YouTubers that I know and the other traders that I know, because like straight up, to be honest, some of the bots are going to make a loss. But if we can make sure, just like trading, that we have a good enough win rate on our bots, we're going to make money. So that's why I was saying that I want you to take profit. When you have a bot, and it's any kind of profit that's just nice. Like if it's like, oh, wow, that's cool, that's some profit, then take it. And then start a new bot. Because each bot that you start, you're going to have a little bit more experience. And that's how we at least get a good win rate. Is everybody with me? Nancy Pelosi boy. What? Nancy Pelosi boy on Robinhood? I'm not Gen Z enough. I'm going to have to do some research there. Okay, let me sip this. Nancy Pelosi bot. Okay, I got you. Nancy Pelosi bot. Oh, I heard something about that. But who has experience on bots, guys? I know some of you are silently experienced on this. And everybody who's keen, or everybody who has signed up or deposited or anything like that, just drop me a message on the Discord in the PIONEX group, right? And just say, I'm here. I'm part of the crew for this PIONEX journey. In the Discord, right here. And there under the pinned messages, you'll see like the important things, right? Like the first video, that's important. All right, let's do some proper analysis here. I heard about this Nancy Pelosi bot. Okay, so this really is the range that I've been watching on this fixed range volume profile, and it's really nice. And also a reason I think we should be starting the neutral bot, because unlike trading this, right? Of course, trading this, you would want to start your trades at the value area high or the value area low. But with a bot, especially a neutral bot, you want to be starting your bot around the POC. Because that just makes sense, because price always comes back to the POC. Is everyone with me? But anyway, all right. So we're looking for value area low for our next nice longs. We're looking for value area high for our next shorts. And at least we do have the MUBITE stream tomorrow also. Whoa, look how big this value area high is. Crazy. But anyway, value area high for shorts. Value area low for longs. Gotta be patient right now for daily trades. And we can see it's gonna be a little bit of a fight here. We've got a very nice strong level there at 66.3. Got a very nice strong level up here at 70. And then other than that, we are just stuck. Guys, we are just stuck in this zone. It's nasty to see such a big high volume zone in the middle. What is the time? 8 o'clock. In the middle here, because it's super annoying, right? You get stuck in this zone, which is what's happening now. And if we do leave the zone, then we're looking at a play past this very strong level, which could be a long scalp, right? Be careful there, but that could be a long scalp. We can see this level has given the longs. But really, we're looking for a move back down into the zone and a long. Major take profits here, and then full take profit at the top. Then if we, it looks like we're breaking down below, but if we break up above, then we're needing to break through this zone. That could also be a nice scalpy zone, but we're really looking to break through that zone for the shorts up at the top. And the 4 hour, yeah, is really looking nice for the order blocks right now. Is the 4 hour and 1 hour best to trade? I actually like doing my main analysis on the daily, right? Main analysis on the daily, just like I did now. There's like a few more things on the daily that I do, and then I go to the 4 hour and the 1 hour, and that's where I find my zones. And, you know, the daily trades take a long time to come. So that's why, yeah, you tend to go to the lower time zones, because, like, these daily trades take a long time to come. Like, we can see the bear was amazing, but then it took 22 days for the next trade. You know, if you're a full-time trader, super boring, super boring. But those are the trades that you have to be aware of, because those are the major trends, and that's how you can hop onto it, you know, a trend with like 10 altcoins or whatever, 20 altcoins. And then you're a swing trader, right? We need Bitman on these streams. Who misses Bitman? We need to get Bitman on the streams, the king of swings. He's like a famous architect now in Portugal. So that's why he's not on our streams anymore, because he's just getting so many jobs. Yeah, for those of you who also miss Bitman, like, you know, Boom Festival, right? Boom is like the biggest festival in Portugal, and he did all of the architecture for the stages. Super crazy. He's killing it, but he's making money to trade with, so that's cool. All right, so then from here, there's just one more thing I want to do, which most of you know, is to zoom out to this much larger range and make sure that you are aware of the levels. And what's so crazy here is those are the high volume levels of this teeny micro range, but look how significant those levels are actually, right? If you go way back in time, crazy significant levels. Okay, so then you drop your fixed range volume profile on this larger range and just try to get as much as you can in there. And then this is where it gets a little bit scary, and you have to understand that if we lose the current range we're in, right, that's why it's so important we have a stop loss on these bots, etc., and on all current trades. And it's also a reason why if you're in a nice short, like McCall's beautiful, you know, 80K shorts, try not to close those shorts, guys. Try not to close those shorts, because here's this massive, hopefully, support that we're at now. But if we lose it, it's this drop, right? We've spoken about this before. It's this overhang, and it's straight down to 51K. And that's the next major sniper level long that I'll be looking at. All right, something with your stop just below that swing here. And then your take profit all the way up at value area high. That's like such a nice, juicy sniper swing, but that'll take time. That'll take time. I'm not going to drop it in the Discord now, because we have some time for that. We're running out of time today. I think we'll do like another 20 minutes because I am losing my voice. All right, and then here, guys, this is it. 43K is looking like a beautiful, beautiful level. There's almost as much volume at 42K as there is at this POC. And here are the levels, guys. I would actually call this the bottom, right? That's our bear market bottom. We do go down. And then these are like relief rally longs on the way up, on the way down. And then this is like your market bottom, where we'll look for the weekly bull div or the monthly trigger wave. We're locked in, all right? I want us to long the bottom of this bear market together as a community so that for 3 years we're in high leverage derivatives longs, just milking for the next 3 years, right? We've got like 8 or 9 months before it looks like we'll be able to get that trade. And it's going to be chaos until then. It's definitely going to be chaos until then. Okay, so this daily time frame, super, super important. Put in these levels. All right, and from here, like, I'm not even bothering with the upside right now, but basically here is the upside zone. That's also why we need to be careful with these long bots and the neutral bots, because there's not really a range. Like, we will swiftly move through all the way up until here, and if we lose this current range, it looks like the next range will be all the way down here. So yeah, stop losses all the way. Could maybe even hedge the long bot with a short bot. I don't know. I will think about it. And of course, let me know if you have any ideas. Okay, so let's leave this in, and then now we go to the 4 hour. So you put the zones in, but then you clean up the rest a little bit. Okay, now we zoom back in on this range. Yeah, we've been super slow today, right? Classic Jordan style is to spend hours on Bitcoin and not even get into altcoins. It's crazy. Let me know if there's any altcoins that you do want to look at. I had a whole bunch of charts here on altcoins that I wanted to look at. I didn't even get to them. All right, so now we're in on the 4 hour. I'm going to take out this so it's a bit cleaner. But here we can see how important these levels are, guys. And now it's just order blocks on this 4 hour that we need to be aware of. And this one gave us our perfect sniper entry. We bring up the Tuffy SMC. Like, what's so amazing is that the Tuffy SMC indicator has turned me into a brilliant SMC trader. I was terrible. I was terrible at SMC. The Nigerians can attest. I was really bad at SMC until I got the Tuffy SMC indicator. And it taught me how to be an SMC trader. All right, so there's the 4 hour order blocks at current. And it looks like now we can draw in a new one because this one's already been tapped. And this is what I've basically been working on now for the crew in terms of places that we can look for our next longs. See these 3 red candles. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Those are looking like order blocks. If you want to be more sniper, you can take the body. But the way it's been looking now is like you could miss the trade, right? If you just take the body. So I've been taking wick to wick. These are the order blocks. Basically, the way this works is that your higher risk order block is the top one. So you use less margin, less leverage on the top one. And then as you go down, more margin, more leverage, more margin, more leverage. But small increments. But what I have noticed about the SMC Tuffy indicator is it has been using some green candles, which I have to actually ask Tuffy to explain to me because that's pretty confusing. Okay, but let's try to do this as technically as possible. And on the 4 hour, we'd look at the market structure to the downside. And we say, okay, there's the break of market structure right there. Yeah, there's your impulse move and your change of character. So really it's looking like at a stretch, this one, higher risk, which is your value area low. But then really it's looking like this is the one, guys. This is the juicy entry right here. It's just looking nice as a sniper SMC order block. All right, 63 to 6, well, 63.6 to 62.6, 62.7. Nice bit of volume directly in the middle. I like that. All right, so now what I do is I go to the 1 hour and see. I actually want to see, let's test ourselves. Let's see. Oh, I did pretty good, but you see it's taking this green candle here. And I don't know why, because all that I've learned about SMC is that it's the red candle. So I need to ask Tuffy, why is it taking this green candle? Why is it choosing that green candle? But yeah, I'm pretty on point with the indicator. And it's still giving us valid order blocks up here. So keep an eye on this level again, right? Because there's an overlap. And when you see an overlap, it's often a sniper mode zone. Interesting. Like almost got that trade there. I like our one that we did here. This green candle. All right, but we weren't far off from the indicator. That's cool. Let's go to the 1 hour. That's too nice. We're standing on the local 0.618. Don't know if a short would work here. Are you talking about this? Oh, you mean like from there? Yeah. Yeah. No. Risky scalp. Risky scalp, right? Because look at this trend. Like, there's your downtrend. There's your uptrend. Yes, there's a trend from here to here, but as you say, it's like pretty localized. Right, I would really look at this as the trend for the Fibonacci. Yeah, which means we got to wait a little bit. And I like this because it's giving significance of the 0.382 at the POC. It's also giving like huge significance here around all of the Fibonacci levels. And then, yeah, interestingly enough, there's the golden pocket, right? At that other order block that I was talking about. And if we look at it as a 1 hour order block, I've learned so much from the Nigerians in my community. You guys are such good SMC traders. Okay, so I'm just going to draw these fibs in quickly. Let's draw a rectangle at the golden pocket. Let's see what confluence we can find. So I've seen the SMC traders. This is what they do. They say, okay, here's a downtrend. There's your break of structure before your impulse move. So here is your order block. And that one is in the golden pocket. And then the same thing with the next one. There's your little downtrend. There's your impulse move and break of structure. So there's your order block. So one entry at the top of the golden pocket, one entry at the bottom of the golden pocket. And then if we try rhyme the 1 hour with the 4 hour order blocks, this looks like a super, super juicy one because we've got our trend. Yeah, I would say that same break of structure. Yeah, that's really nice because it's at the bottom of the 4 hour order block. It gives you that sniper move there. And then you look for the overlaps. Right? I know this is confusing, but this is what we call clustering. So then you say, okay, this is my long in the overlap. This is my long in the overlap. And then this is really looking like the more risk managed one right here. Oh, that one. Crazy confusing chart, right? But now what happens is you clean it up. Then you're just left with, okay. Boom. Boom. Take them to the order block so you remember why they're there. There you go. Yeah, they're kind of all over the place. I prefer it to be a little bit more clean for you guys. But that's what it's looking like right now. Okay, I'll drop that into the Discord so that we're aware. Is everybody following? Oh, shot, man. Yeah, it's not alpha, guys. This is simple TA. This is simple TA. Simple. And then what happens is you wait, guys. You wait first for a break of this support and resistance flip, high volume node. And then you say, okay, if we break this, we're on. We're down towards the zone. Once you're in the zone, that's where your question comes in, Mr. BB. Right? That's when you say, okay, if Market Cipher gives me something on the 1 hour, like a trigger wave, like that, it's go time. Ooh, look at this. Is this the 6th of Feb? What? I did not even see this one. When I was doing my video, I did not even see this one. Look how beautiful this is. You see the bullish divergence that gave you a little trade. Then you see the... Oh, I'm covering it. Right? Here's the bullish divergence with the small trade. Then there's the trigger wave, which is the price manipulation. And there's your beautiful trade, right? That's the video that I just dropped now. So please do check it out. It's in the Trading Academy. It's all over the place. I dropped it on my Twitter. I dropped it in my Telegram status. It's super cool. It's super important. This is price manipulation. So many people will say, oh, cool, bullish divergence, into the trade, not even take profit, get stopped out. Then you get the trigger wave at the price manipulation. And then they're like too shit scared at this point to even long because they just got stopped out. They're like, no, I'm too scared, right? But that's the actual trade. Who's watched the video that I just dropped on this price manipulation pattern? Who's actually watching my courses that I'm spending so long creating? But yeah, you look for something like that, right? You look for a trigger wave, you look for a bullish divergence, you look for the full trigger wave patterns, something like that. And if you're not getting it on the 1 hour, then you just scroll down your time frames and you look for any of the Market Cipher strategies. But you have to see something coming in at the order block or it's not worth taking. I'll watch it after the live is over. Perfect. Mika, let's go. Is that the Mika I think it is? Welcome. Hey, let's go. Kungari hopping in. Better late than never. Welcome, brother. Oh, Mika, super cool to see you, man. Hats off, bro. Thanks for joining the stream. That's rad. Guys, I love this channel. It's like, you're all my friends. You're all my family. Like, every time one of you hops on, you can just see it makes me so happy, like, to connect with you guys, right? It's so beautiful. All right, let me quickly pop this into the Discord, and I think it's time to call it a night, guys. You guys have been here. We've been doing this for 2.5 hours. So we just have to get back into our 2 times a week live streams, and we'll be able to do altcoins as well. Okay, so let's just label these quickly. I think that's actually perfect, just like that. Just like that. Oh, thank you, bro. It's so cool to see you, man. Brings such a smile to my face. And really, live streaming is like my favorite part of content creation. It's like to be together with you guys. It's so awesome. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's happening here? 15-minute money flow coming down for the 1 to 16. Yeah, so the 1 to 16 strategy is actually something I should make a video on, right? It's interesting. From your 15-minute to your 4-hour, if your 15-minute money flow is nice and red, then your 4-hour bear div is nice and strong. Value area lower and 0.618 confluence. Yeah, I see. BB, you're just... Yeah, you're zooming in a little bit tight on that local range. Do you see what I've done here? Just make sure you're on like the full trend, right? Your Fibonacci is really strong when you see a completed trend. And there is a completed trend there, and we are likely to get a little bit of a golden pocket bounce here. But yeah, really for your stronger moves, just make sure the trend is like strong and completed. All right, let's drop it. Let's drop it. Okay, so BTC 4-hour and 1-hour OB clusters. Yeah, there was a golden pocket in there as well. Let's just draw that in actually. So this would be the Elliott wave, basically, right? If your Fibonacci comes all the way down to the 1 level, that's your Elliott wave. And what's so cool about the Elliott wave is it very often pumps all the way back up. But I'm going to put the fib in there as well. Hopefully it won't confuse everyone too much. But it's just cool to know that, you know, this order block is at the top of the golden pocket. This order block is at the bottom of the golden pocket. All right, cool. I like it, guys. It's good work. It's good work. Kangari, what are you scalping, bro? What are you scalping? What are you working on? I know you're a market milker. BTC 4-hour and 1 OB clusters with fib retracement golden pocket confluence. Wait for market cipher B signals at the OBs. All right, there you go, guys. Beautiful stuff. All right, let's call it a night. Thank you, guys. We'll do Bitcoin dominance, total 3, altcoins. I had like 10 altcoin charts to look at here on my iPad, ready to go. But anyway, next time, it's already been 2.5 hours, and I'm trying to keep these streams a little bit more manageable. But thank you so much, everybody, for being here. It has been super awesome. Let me just drop these QR codes again quickly. This is the Bybit sign up link if you need a secure account to trade on with some nice bonuses and benefits. This is the Telegram Academy. I believe most of you are in there, but that is where really it's my quickest point of contact with you guys. If I really need to say, here's a position, here's something happening, be careful of this, etc. That's the best place to be. I'm very active on Telegram. You can also reach me there. And then this is a QR code if you need it for the PIONEX, right? If you're struggling with the link for any reason or anything like that, that's the PIONEX. All right, and thank you so much, guys. It's been awesome. It's always so hard to actually hop off these streams because I get so used to being with the crew and I love being here. But it has been so great. Thank you so much, everybody. It's been too long, and we will get back into twice a week streams, Tuesday and Thursday, around the New York market open. And yeah, get involved in the Discord. There's gems being dropped there every day, not just by myself. I'm also going to be dropping more of my daily TA in that group. Thank you to BB for keeping it so hot. I must say huge thanks. And please, everybody get involved in this PIONEX, right? In this PIONEX journey that we're getting on, because I want you there from the start. I don't want anybody to get left behind. We're going to become automated bot trading OGs. All right, but thank you so much, everybody. I will be live on the MUBITE Discord tomorrow. Get involved. They also give away free challenges every time in those streams. I want my crew to earn those free challenges and to be trading on funded accounts. It is a great way to trade because it's really risk managed. Trading on a funded account is awesome. All right, and please do me a favor, drop a comment on the stream after I close the stream. It does help me to push the algorithm. And please watch the Market Cipher tutorials, guys, that I've been dropping. They're super important. I want you to come to these streams with the strategy already locked down. All right, thank you so much. Please remember my advice, always play from a position of power and strength. Use your stop loss and do not get wrecked. I will see you in the Discord. I will see you tomorrow and same time, same place next week. Actually on Tuesday. Much love and respect. Peace out.